All right, people, what's good? So, we're going to be talking about three frogs of the anime community. These are my personal list, so if you have your personal list, just put it down in the comments. All right, starting off with my first one. The first one, what do you think? Hmm. Who's fuck, frog? All right, my first one on the list is Garland from One Piece. So, when I first saw Garling, I thought this guy was going to be OP. I thought he was going to be like one of the main fights that we're going to see the Straw Hat crew go up against. Mind you, I only recently started watching the One Piece manga, and I only got into it because of my younger brother. At first, honestly, I thought One Piece was trash. Just seeing Luffy, no, no, no. I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, this dude is cuckoo. This dude is fucking corny. But as I sat down and we were just chilling and just reminiscing, I started just like watching a little bit, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. Especially when Luffy fought the that dude from CP9. I think his name's Luchi. That got me into the anime. But I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. The fillers just be boring. So I just go this type of what episodes to watch, and I just watch the main ones that are important, just so I don't lose interest in it. But when I saw Garling, he was introduced when he was, I guess, he was one of the, he was doing this kind of event where they would let some slaves go, and the celestial dragons would start killing them for points, which was like pretty fucked up soon. So Garling killed like a bunch of them and got minus some amount of points or whatever. And when I first saw him, he had that look like he's super powerful or super strong. So I'm like, okay, I'm looking forward to seeing this character, right? Not long after I'm watching the One Piece manga, and I see Rock's Elizabeth. Now Rock Elizabeth is he's a beast. He's has like King Von type energy right there. And he one shots Garland. He fucking one shots Garland. Garland doesn't put up a fight. He one shots him. And I'm just looking at this dude. You I saw you in the anime. I thought you were gonna do some shit or like have some cool Conqueror's hockey, can't talk. Conqueror's hockey or some kind of like what you would call it. What are those called? Devil fruit power? Yeah. So I thought he was gonna be like the big bad, but he gets one shot. Then when he kills Rock Dieselbeck is only when Rock Dieselbeck is severely wounded. So that's fraud number one, right? So he's number three on the list. All right, let's think about number two. Oh, yeah, here's a good one. Donzo from Naruto. So Danzo was doing all this fucked up shit. Majority of the problem of Naruto is because of Danzo, so I already didn't like that dude off bat. But he's doing all this shit, and when Sasuke pulls up, Danzo dips like a bitch. Initially, Danzo dips like a bitch, right? Then when Danzo and Sasuke finally run it back, Sasuke's just trying to slime out this dude at this point, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. So Donzo has the power of the Izanagi, right? I might be confusing it with Izanami, Izanagi. They do different things, right? So basically, the Izanagi has the power to rewrite reality, or like you know, basically is a reset button. So Sasuke basically was spawn camping this fool, and this fool died numerous times. I remember one of the stupidest things he did. Sasuke has Susanoo. Dude tries to stab Sasuke Susanoo with a fucking kunai. Like, bro, are you stupid or dumb retarded? Like, take a struggle, bro. And at the end, Danzo tries to boom himself. But guess what? Obito comes and third parties and stops that shit. And then they want to try to have this sad backstory for Danzo when and he loses when younger. I'm like, nah, bro, we're not falling for that. Dunzo, rest in peace, Bozo. Okay, now my top fraud, my fucking top fraud, has to be Naoya Seni. So before I started watching Jujutsu Kaisen, I would see little clips of Naoya boxing Choso. Right? So before I knew any of the characters, I thought Naoya was the big guy and Choso was the bad guy, just based on how Choso looked, right? And I saw that fight clip, I'm like, ooh, he's cooking, bro. And initially, I didn't know who the characters were. I thought Choso was Megumi, and I'm like, okay, is this why people are calling Megumi a bum or whatever? So I started watching Jujutsu Kaisen. Fast forward, now I'm in the scene where Naoya is fighting Choso. And I'm not gonna lie, Naoya was putting hands on Choso, and it was looking pretty bad for my boy Choso. I actually started liking that character. But here's the thing: if you're gonna be styling on people for aura points and all that, you better make damn sure you're gonna win. He did all that just to lose. And Choso was barely damaged or barely, had a scratch on him. So that was strike one on that one. Strike two came when he fought Maki. So Maki had the Heavenly Curse. Maki basically was like a mini Toji. Maki was putting belt to ass on the Zen clan. All of them were getting body, right? And I'm just thinking to myself, come on, where's this bum ass nigga Naoya? If the Zen clan is having this much trouble, wouldn't you think it'd be appropriate for you to come and give assistance? I'm just saying, So Naoya finally shows up, and he has that Vegeta energy, The Vegeta pointing to himself like, I already knew bro was gonna get cut. Even though I didn't even watch the manga, I wasn't really reading the manga at that point. I knew Naoya was gonna get his shit right, his pockets right. So he was basically, you know, pretending to be the Flash and doing all this fancy shit. And as I'm watching, I can see Mafi's eyes stacking, and I knew at that moment Morgan was gonna get rocked. Now, color me surprised. I'm being sarcastic. Naoya gets folded. Not only does he get folded, he survives, but he gets slimed out by Maki's mom. Bum. Fucking bum. Then, the funny part is, I started reading the manga. He comes back as a cursed spirit and gets slimed by Maki again. Like, bro, this dude is fucking buns. You can't this is the person that people are glazing and people want to call Megumi a bum. I'm not gonna lie. There's some things that Megumi does that be pissing me off, like being so quick to alt Maharaga. Granted, like the two times that he was gonna do that, he was fighting Sukuna. He really didn't have much of a choice. But what I'm saying is, people be calling Megumi a bum, but at least Megumi has some W's in his pocket. Naoya lost 3 times. And this bum wants to say that he alone stand next to Gojo and Toji? Bro, get the fuck out of here. Garbage. This is your king? No, I never want to hear anybody say, "Oh, Gumi's a bum." If you want to see a bum, look at this fraud Naoya here. Anyways, those are my top 3 anime frauds. Those those are forever on Fraud Watch. If you want me to do more videos like this or have another topic, just leave it down in the comments. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.